Welcome to another episode of Queencast Hit the Spotlight. Who do we have in the spotlight today, ladies?
Well, on this episode of Hit the Spotlight, we have the amazing Hector from Quinn. Hector started doing musical theater in his hometown of Brighton with a youth musical theater group at 14. After realizing his talent and enjoyment for dance, he enrolled in ballet classes at 15, wanting to pursue a career in ballet. He switched to musical theater and trained full-time at the Center Performing Arts College in Rochester. This was a deeply formative experience for him, and we're eager to dive into it.
And after graduating, I think he did some commercials, a bit of He's Behind You, pantomimes. I don't know if that is an American thing as well. Do you have pantomimes over there?
Unless that means mime.
Mimes?
I don't know.
No, it's a whole other ball game. And then he was cast in a musical about boy bands that toured arenas all over Germany.
Smudge is a big boy band fan, so I'll be curious to hear about that.
Bit of Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Yes. I was an instinct girl, but it's okay. And luckily, Hector got to stay there being cast in Channing Tatum's Magic Mike Live in Berlin with a certain pandemic interlude for the next few years. And also appeared on Germany's Next Top Model and other German TV shows as well.
What doesn't Hector do?
I know. Quite the resume. Right? Quite the resume.
Now based in Berlin, he learned German in order to be able to work as a freelance musical theater actor, choreographer, writer, and voice actor, obeying the somewhat nomadic lifestyle that entails. He plays bass guitar a lot, but misses the fact that his main musician friend is in the UK and they can't play together as often as they'd like.
Oh, he is a voracious gamer. Elden Ring. I'm going to say these because I have no idea what they are. Elden Ring, Oblivion, Skyrim. That sounds Quinn-esque. Stardew Valley, Hitman, Destiny, and a deep lover of mostly Western, but some anime and cartoons.
Look, let's welcome Hector to the show. Welcome, Hector.
Welcome, Hector.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome
guys.
to Queencast.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for joining us. And I will say that Jules is already geeking out at the idea of all these gamer talks, anime talks. This is her wheelhouse. So we will be relying on her.
Yeah, totally.
Really, not Smudge. Smudge seemed so into it.
Yeah,
Right? Right up Smudge's alley.
Yeah, totally.
To warm our guests up, we like to play a little game. So we know a lot about you. And with that in mind, and Jules is going to get overexcited now. Jules, put the towel down. We are going to play a little game called Spell or Smut.
Spell or smut?
Spell or Smut. Yeah. Okay, so are you happy to play without me even
could you tell them what it is?
I think I'd be a pretty poor sport if I said no, so I'll say yes. But I also would love to know the rules.
Okay, the rules are that we're going to read out some names of either, and they are either going to be spells or smut terms used in erotic audios.
Okay, spells from where, or a whole?
A myriad of games. So D&D, FOE, BRB, TTFN.
She's just saying letters at this point.
TGIF.
TTFN. TTFN.
WTF. Yes, so they are from actual games.
Okay.
So I did my research.
So you found them? Yeah, absolutely.
I
did. We apologize in advance if they're so obscure that even gamers don't know them, but we'll see.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe Jules should have done the game.
Go. So here we go, ladies.
Okay. I'm more of the anime, so.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Spell or smut? Right, so spell or smut, Hector. Here we go. The first one. Dirk's impressive tool. Is that a spell or smut?
That's actually tough. It sounds a lot like so if it's smut, it's from that's a little line taken from From an
Taken from
erotic
some
novel.
erotic audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say it's a D&D spell.
Oh, you are correct. It is.
Yes.
It is. I don't know what I'm about to say next. It is a second level
Artificer spell.
imagist
Oh,
spell.
yes.
You understand what that means,
Thank God.
Hector? 'Cause,
Yeah, I do play D&D not every week because we're adults and we have a schedule and it's hard. But I keep in contact with a lot of my friends from Brighton. We play D&D most weeks. But I'm not a big spellcaster, so you might be lucky and catch me out on those.
okay, well, you got the first one.
Okay. Phew.
I
Okay,
wish that was Smirts because I'd like to meet Dirk because apparently he has an impressive tool.
No. It's also as well because Dirk, I mean Scottish name, but it's also a Scottish type of dagger or sword as well, which kind of doubles the entendre
Oh,
there.
that's a
Oh.
double-edged sword, that one.
Dirk's impressive Dirk. Yeah. Oh, smudge.
See what it is.
Good one.
But
I'm a gift.
Good
I
job,
am a
Smudge.
gift.
Now she keeps on giving. Number 2, locate the clitoris. Is that a spell or is that smut?
Interest, that's not real, is it? No. I mean, some men may in fact need a spell to help them do that, but I think that might be from smut. I'm going to say smut on this one.
That's a spell, Hector.
It's a spell. Locate clitoris.
It is a
What game is that? I want to play it.
First level bard, whatever that means. I have no idea what that means.
And this is this is fantastic. I mean, this is in the base game because
Yes.
if it is, my
Yeah,
dungeon master's been hiding all the good stuff from us.
I think they have. I think they have.
Some all you bards writing dastardly homebrew spells out there about genitalia.
I mean, I couldn't believe it either when I
That's
read it.
fantastic.
I was like,
Okay, clear.
It's a really good one.
At least it's first
right.
level. That means even the lowliest bards can find it. Yeah,
oh.
it's not locked behind years of study.
And it would be a disappointing audio if in the erotic audio he was like, "I'm going to locate the
Yes.
clitoris now."
That's the entire 20 minutes. The entire 20 minutes.
I have never wanted to play D&D any more than I have right
I
now.
bet you do.
All right. Ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right. Is this a spell or smut? Orgasmic vibration.
Cool.
We're giving them to you, Hector.
Giving them, you really are. And you know what? This is actually a really good thing to warm me up because I'm not good at getting things wrong. And so this is really good practice for me to just chill out. And you know, first section. Right. I'll say spell again. I'm gonna stick with spell.
You are correct. Yes, it is a third level bard.
It's
spell.
always the bards.
Orgasmic
Those
vibration.
horny bards.
What is a bard? I thought Shakespeare's a bard. So is that
what is that?
On D&D, so they're kind of you'd be in your role playing, you'd be more of a character who's a face character. So you'd be doing a lot of kind of persuading and performing for people as well. But you can also cast spells normally through your instrument.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
But,
Hmm.
but I am fairly sure some of these are homebrew. I'm not sure these were written out. I'm not sure these are from the original 70s or 60s or whatever it was written
Yeah, I don't
manuscript.
think they were. I don't think it was a very recent.
Maybe this is why there was all that, you know, satanic panic with it in the States back. They can't teach our children where to find the clitoris. That's
Oh, that's good. That's a perfect accent too.
That was
Right?
perfect.
Lord help us all.
Okay, next one, Hector. Here we go. Sexual nerd. And we're not talking about you.
about every single person on this podcast.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
God, sexual nerd. I'm saying that's smut.
That is not.
Wrong.
Oh,
It's
God.
spell.
These are all spells. Have you given
No,
me
they're
one
not.
smut yet?
I mean, we're just moving them around. There might not be any
Okay.
smuts. You're absolutely
Maybe
right.
there
There
isn't
might.
smut.
Never know.
But that was a fifth level cleric oracle spell. I have no idea what that means.
Brilliant. Okay. Do you know what? Anyone who is a D&D fan, write in about this one.
Literally have never
Right.
played that.
You've stumbled on someone on Tumblr's homebrew spell collection.
Reddit. It's already got a D&D section.
Yeah.
Leave it to Smudge to find that stuff.
Right.
Deep
Okay.
dark web.
Next one. Magic cock.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say. How do you cast that as a spell? I'm gonna say spell again. Finally, smart. Finally, yes.
Smudge.
It was actually it's in 2 Quinn audios. The phrasing magic cock.
Magic cock.
Yeah.
What a tag. What a tag.
Well, which audio?
Who said
Smudge?
it?
You didn't tell us. Yeah, who said it?
Oh, do you know? I can't remember, but I will put it in the show notes.
It belongs to Greg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah.
No, Greg does not have a
Greg.
magic cock. Greg's an
Fuck
asshole.
Greg. Fuck Greg.
Fuck Greg.
That guy gets everywhere.
Thinks he has one. That's why he's an asshole. Okay, 2 more. All right, we're on the home stretch.
All right. Ready? Here's the next one. Nipple worship.
Something that should be in everyone's day-to-day life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm gonna say smut. It sounds like a tag.
Yep.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ooh, it is indeed
Yes.
a tag.
Square bracket, nipple worship, close square bracket. Yes.
There were over
Yes.
100 tags of nipple worship.
Oh, good. Wow.
There should be.
Right?
Actually, that's. Should there be more?
There was none in yours, Hector. I'm just throwing it out there. Come on. Nipple
You know what?
worship.
It's because I'm not. I don't. I'll worship the whole bread. I don't need to pick out just the nipples. Everything
Oh,
is
good answer.
everything. Yeah.
Great answer. Great answer.
Thank you. You can't see me sweating.
Yeah.
Well done to your publicist.
It's got like areola worship. It's like, okay, the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Do you know what they call it? Do you know what they call the areola in German?
No.
Right.
Nippelhof, which means like the nipple court, which I quite
No
like.
way. Nipple hole.
Really?
Nipple
Nipple hole.
court of thorns and roses. That's
The
that's
last
good.
one. Kazza, over to you.
Oh, it's me? Okay. The last one. Spread open.
That sounds like it would be too situational to be a spell. And if it was, it sounds like there's not enough consent if you're casting a spell for that. So I'm going to say smart, hopefully.
I can totally see where you would say that, but no.
No, God, who's casting this?
Oh, come on, Hector. It's a second druid. It's a second druid spell, Hector. Are you calling yourself a gamer or not?
Red open. I am, but I'm going to defend myself by saying I don't think these are definitely not in the regular game. I mean, actually, to be honest, I haven't played Baldur's Gate 3, and if this is not, even though I did do an Astarion audio.
Do you know, I love it. I know Astarion. I know who's that guy who plays him.
Astarion.
Oh my God,
He's
he's
great.
amazing.
Neil
Diamond, not Neil
I forgot the
Diamond.
surname. Not Neil Diamond. Or
Neil.
nor Neil
Neil.
Young. Not one of these.
Oh.
Spread open. I mean, that's a bit lazy to use a whole spell. Come on, putting some elbow grease
Put
through
some
it.
work.
We've jumped
Do it.
straight to leg spread open. It could be anything. It could be a gate. It could be trees. It
Could
could
be
be
anything.
mountains. We went
Yeah.
deep, dark, Quinn.
Could be doing a sandwich.
Yeah.
We did. But I think what we've been served up before, locate clitoris, really set the tone for the spells that we're going to be
I
flying.
love that
Yes,
one. I'm
fair.
gonna go to like
Yes.
the next like, convention and just go locate the clitoris with my wand in the air.
Yeah.
Locate the-
Sexual nerd.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Hector, for being a
Thanks for
bloody-
Thank you for preparing
You're
that.
welcome. It is hours and hours, middle of the night stuff. That was.
2 wrong, right? You got 5 2.
I don't know. I feel like we should give you a little extra credit though for your comments about how everyone should
Yeah.
have nipple worship every day.
Oh,
I mean,
that's a good
Yeah.
point, Jules.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, because as long as they know that there's degradation tagged in this one for how Smudge is talking about my gaming knowledge.
I haven't even got the spreader out. All right, so just
No, okay, good.
right, fabulous. Well, thanks very much. Honestly,
We-
Hector, thank you for being good sport.
Yes,
Thank
That
you.
was fun. And
was
Jules,
fun.
a little note for the show notes. Degradation tag.
Degradation tag. Yeah.
gotcha.
Okay, cool.
On
Like
it.
legit, it'll be funny.
I was going to say, really? 'Cause I mean, I can do
Yes.
degradation if you really need.
You can, but I will need a podcast safe word.
Yeah.
Courgette. Courgette is the.
Oh, look, that's Smudge's courgette. Jules, what's yours?
Locate courgette.
Mine is pumpernickel.
That's
Amanda,
good. You
what was yours?
can't accidentally say
You
that.
can't accidentally, right? Mine's
Yeah, there you go.
cucumber.
Sorry on the
What's
nose.
yours, Hector?
Yeah, so.
Gonna ask.
Windex.
Oh my
Windex.
That's so 70s. Love it.
I love it.
Yes.
Fabulous.
Love
So
it.
now,
All right, now we'll get into the chat or / interrogation.
It's not
It's really just a chat.
interrogation.
We're just fucking with you.
I hope so.
Yes. Okay. Be careful what you ask for. So the obvious start, because we're all curious to know, like, what inspired you to start creating erotic audio?
It's not a very well. It's interesting. It's not like an incredibly dramatic story, but I was just perusing Instagram Reels one day, and a creator came up, who I won't name because they're actually no longer with the with Quinn for good reason. But I saw them, and they were talking about. They were walking through, I think, the kind of adult section for like an audiobook store, which we don't have in Germany. We're too far behind, but. They were walking through the kind of adult section and saying, "Oh, I wonder if they know. I wonder if they know who I am if I started talking." And I was like, "Whoa!" And then I went onto their profile, like, what are they talking about? And then I saw a GQ link talking about audio erotica and Quinn, and I think it was featuring this person, but also Chris Yamez. And then I was reading about it, and I thought, oh my God, that sounds lovely. Like, and I always liked doing voices and speaking to the mic, and that seemed like something I could really do on my own terms.
Yeah.
And it also really tied into the enjoyment that I really got from doing my previous job, which I thought was also really helpful for kind of women's sexual liberation and fun and joy, which was when I did Magic Mike, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. But I'd had such a good time doing that because that was also really beautifully set up for women to have an enjoyable experience on their own terms, and we had a safe word and everything. And I thought, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could do that. So I just sent. This was, a couple of years ago now, when it was there was an email on Quinn's thing to send a little audition tape, and I did that, and then they were really nice and took me on kind of straight away.
Wow. So when was that?
2020, I think it was March 23,
Wow.
around then. Something like that, yeah. It's actually it's my first one. It's the Countess is actually the one I wrote as an audition, because I set like a minute-long sample, and then they were like, if we take you, it will be your first one. So I was like, cool.
Fantastic.
Okay.
And that took me, oh my God, that took me so long to do. I was like
Really?
neurotically checking every single bit of thing, popping through, having my wife check it every couple of minutes. Like, is this okay? Does this sound all right if I say this?
What part of it took the longest? The writing? The
story bit
story
mostly. Yeah.
So did you,
Yep.
you the Countess, and having perused through your catalogue quite
Mm-hmm.
deeply, you do like a nice fantasy storyline.
Yeah.
Is that the sort of thing you love doing?
Well, I thought, having, before I joined Quinn, I listened to a lot of the other ones, and obviously there were, I think, a couple of historical ones floating around. But I thought, with how I sound and some of the stuff I'm into, I thought, there's quite a good possible niche for me there, which there was at the time. And that would have been a thing with stories that I would have liked writing, which, I also knew a lot of people would like to hear. So I thought I would just put myself in that little pocket, and mostly, of course, I do other, like, some modern ones as well, but I really like the fantasy and the historical vibe.
Yeah, definitely got that, and they're so good, by the way. They're
Thank you.
they're really quite immersive, if that's a good word to use.
Thank you.
Very,
Yeah.
very, very immersive.
Yeah.
Very,
Well,
you can tell you enjoy doing them. I think it's very easy to spot when a creator is just, doing an audio type thing and the subject matter, when they're not really into it and they're don't in it. But you are
Right.
well into it. Like,
Thank you. Yeah. No, I really like them. And then sometimes also, of course, I work with, writer. I mean, a lot of my historical ones I do with, they're either mine or I do them with Carrie, who's fantastic.
when you are writing your own script, what kind of does your writing process look like before you let your brain kind of burn out from it, as you were saying? Like, what does it look like?
Do you know what? I could probably avoid burnout by being a little more structured with it, but
No.
that's not who I am as a person. I definitely do. So I'm quite good. I have kind of a running notes app on my phone. So whenever I have the kind of a thought or an idea of a concept or an idea for kind of general story, I'll jot that down. And I will add little bits to that as I kind of got, often it'll be like thinking of, oh, this would be a cool a position to try and describe that. That will go in there to try and flesh it out. On my phone, yeah, or adding, you know, even if I just think of oh, that'd be a hot thing to say, I'll add that, and then do a kind of playthrough. I'll break it down into kind of, okay, I want this section of discussion to happen, and then the kind of, foreplay or pre sexual contact bit will happen. And I'll normally give myself a couple of kind of practice, just improv runs, and then just refine it from there. So I'll do, 2, 3, or 4 takes and see what comes out, kind of remember what I like or write down what I liked about it. And then I can refine that each go into a more cohesive script. I'm pretty heavy on ad-libbing always. So also anyone who's had done scripts with me also knows I always say, like, hey, I will change phrasing. I'll never change a story beat unless we talk about it, but I will always change it to how I like it to sound in my mouth or how it feels better. And yeah, and I do a lot of ad-libbing. I love an improv text, and that kind of feels more real and fresh to me as well.
Did you find it difficult in the beginning to write in the first person? How hard was that?
Oh yeah, it's like second person to you.
Second
Yeah,
person, yeah, sorry.
It was no, there was yeah, because I barely even knew it was second person because you never write in that. It's like
Yeah.
the least used kind of case or tense or whatever. So it was bizarre. I think the biggest one was it's finding the balance, and we all struggle with it still. Is finding the balance of not wanting to, which we also say in D&D, railroad the listener. So you want your story to move forwards, but you want them to feel like they have agency as a listener and they are able to reply. You want to give them just enough gap to say something back, but not make it kind of awkward to listen to with too much. You want to imply that you kind of say something along this next time, but you also don't want them to feel like, oh, I said this, but I wouldn't say, it will never be exactly right for every single person.
Right.
Everyone's tastes will be different, but you want them to be carried along in the fantasy without feeling like you're giving every single piece to them, rigidly.
Yeah, so they have the imagination to fill some blanks and pauses.
Totally. Yes. Yeah. Give them still like some, even though of course it's a rigid format, give them some measure of agency.
Yeah, absolutely. Do your sort of listeners ever request certain content or tropes, and you take that? How do you choose what you're doing?
They do actually. I mean, I'm really behind on one which I really want to do. I've been meaning to finish a 3-parter series finale that I've been thinking of doing for ages, which is the kind of this solstice summoning one, which I've been not done the third one for a while because I feel like I can't finish it well enough. I've been thinking about that for a while. People absolutely ask for certain things. Absolutely, people have asked for contact or certain phrasings of things, which I thought that's a really fantastic way of putting that. I'll absolutely include that in the next stories. I personally think I have an absolutely lovely, adorable comment section of really kind people who always say really nice things and thoroughly supportive of one another as well as me. And they do. Yes, I would always give, if it's a good idea, I will take on board anything anybody says.
Yeah, what I love is I noticed I was listening to one of your safer work rambles, and you were reading out
Oh yeah,
the comment sections, like some of the really sweet things people were saying. And I love that, and
yeah,
that just again like helps your listeners, be even
so
more
nice.
immersed in it. And when you're reading out their comments, like that's just such a great feeling, probably for them, but it's also for you as well.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think it's just it's the nicest thing about this whole app and website, which I've really come to expect and cherish from primarily non-male spaces. There's so much more support and kindness to one another, and the comment sections are just such a lovely example of that. And
So funny. I mean, I live in the comment
So
section.
So
They're
funny.
just brilliant.
So funny.
I know, and it's so nice when people can just say what they want without them feeling observed by other people as well. You know, you're just allowed to let that side of you run around.
Yeah, I fucking did a good
No,
job there.
it's really not. It's
Isn't it?
absolutely the thing that it keeps on going, as you say. Like it's really
Yeah.
it's something I really cherish, being able to read that and people's responses to it. You do feel like you're doing good work, like it's social work. We say sometimes it really is something that helps people. One, they have a community, and like you guys have built a great community here, but they can be so with themselves and with each other on the platform in the comments, but also, you know, it's a real tool to help some people rebuild a relationship with their sexuality that could have been out of touch with for any number of reasons. It's just such a great thing to feel like you're able to help with.
That's what's going to be so cool, is to be involved with this, because, you know, to your point, we talk about this a lot, that it's so much more than a spicy audio app, right? It really is. And we, you know, the communities of women that we're in as a result of this app, it's incredible. Like the kind of through line that people talk about, you know, healing parts of themselves they didn't even realize were broken or needed healing, or learning about their desires that they didn't even realize they had, you know, or that it was even okay to feel a certain way if they were brought up in a way that kind of was very repressed.
Absolutely.
So it's such an incredibly powerful app that when you try to tell the people in your life who aren't familiar with it, they're like, oh, so you're listening to audio porn and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's so much more than that. Like, it is so much more than that. So it's got to feel incredibly rewarding to be a part of that.
Yeah, totally. Like you said, undoing any, you know, all the different repressive or puritanical upbringings people might have had, and also the way that it can be, you know, you can be as private or as engaged as you want. You know, you can also just listen if you want, and that's just yours, and you can listen in your headphones in your room, and no one ever has to know you're doing it. It's also an incredibly nondescript app icon.
Yeah, it's true.
And like I always say, if I talk about this in my ramble sometimes, I know some people are just at work or doing shopping.
I'm one of them.
We've all
You're
done
insane.
that. Yeah,
I
all
love
of
you.
us.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
How you do. Well done. Yeah. Hopefully not in your film studies class, Jules.
Definitely not.
No.
Yeah. Have any of you had a Bluetooth speaker nightmare?
Oh, all of us.
Absolutely.
I don't
So
think there's
many
a person
times.
that's listened to Quinn that hasn't had a nightmare.
Really, your
Oh,
initiation.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone at the laundromat I go to, when I go out to sit in my car, and I've been listening to something, oh, that Bluetooth connects, and I play my music really loud anyway, so
Oh God. Fantastic.
Yeah, I've been in my car and it's been linked to my car, and my car is a work car, and I've had work colleagues get in, and the moment I switch my ignition on, all of a sudden it's
The other ignition is on.
bend over. You know, it's like, ah, and you panic, don't you? You go, I don't know whether to look at my phone or to press the screen. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, all day long.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
And then did you escape unscathed?
No. I mean, it's probably happened 20 times. I still can't work out in my car how to end the last audio so that it doesn't then ping up. Even if I've finished,
Ping up straight
it
away.
just comes back on. It's
Yeah, it replays even if the app is closed, right?
Yeah,
It just reopens it and says,
literally close everything down.
Okay, pro tip, everybody.
Kaza knows.
Right before you shut off your car, play a song on your Spotify or something else, because that's what it's going to pick up when you start the next time.
But not the Court of Thorns and Roses audiobook.
But not academic. No, like some song or some very, you know what? Or you can play something very intellectual, so people are like, wow, listen to you. How smart are you?
So you mean not a Hector ramble where he
Not
gets
a Hector
the old,
ramble, no.
It gets the old lube bottle. I love the sound effect. Sorry, Hector, I have to mention the lube bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
One time,
Spot on. I even know the brand.
one time it wasn't. It was just my dish soap dispenser.
Oh no, you've
There had
ruined
been a
it.
couple- yeah, I'm shattering all your illusions.
You heard it here
Don't do it.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was maybe like probably about the third time when my phone was connected to the car that my wife went to run an errand, and she came back in and she's like, I turned on the car and there was some man moaning through the speakers, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
This wasn't NPR.
Yeah. And that's what it's on now. Now she's like, oh, you're listening to NPR, you're so
Yeah.
smart. I'm like, I know.
Garrison Keeler sounds different.
But sort of going back to what we were talking about, the hashtags. I mean, walking into Quinn for the first time, which is where we all met, by the way. We didn't know each other at all before we joined.
That's
We
so
realised we
lovely.
all were members of Quinn. Neither one of us had ever done a podcast and anything like this in our lives before, and we just got chatting and went, "Shall we go on then?"
Oh, sorry. And I said this on the waiting room. Everyone thank Kazza, Jules, and Smudge for doing that and for offsetting yet another, 3 white men with a podcast. Like we've said, far too many dudes have them. We all need to be thankful for them having a podcast.
Oh, thanks, Hector.
Thank you, Hector.
Yeah, to walk into Quinn metaphorically and see all the hashtags, for me it was massively empowering, because I saw hashtags there that I thought, oh my God, I'm not the only person that might want to listen to that then.
Yeah.
That was the community, immediate community that you found, like-minded individuals where you felt like you weren't the only one who liked that kink or trope or whatever. It was it's an empowering app. All audio writers, it's not just Quinn, but all for us, they hold massively important communities for women and to empower their sexualities. It's brilliant.
Totally.
Yeah. I mean, it almost immediately starts to remove the shame that you might have been raised with, right? So it's like, okay, it's because, I mean, shame is in the secrets.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's like when, it's like when you learn, like, oh my gosh, you like that too. And it's like, that's okay. I'm not a
not
deviant.
just me.
Yeah.
It's not just me.
Yes. And it works both ways. Like, I mean, I was totally okay. Obviously, it's far easier for me as well as a man to have been, grown up and feel less shame. But, I was brought up in a very, very loving family. But, I was brought up Catholic, and there is still just, and even though they were incredibly liberal and actually I had an incredibly, as they go, I'm not religious anymore, but I was, I grew up a bit in the church, and even the priest was an incredibly reasonable guy, especially for a Catholic priest. But there was, there is still just a lot of weird stuff that you were brought up with, kind of shame and guilt, and repression wise. And even for me, like as a creator, I was incredibly sexually open and liberated even by the time I joined Quinn. But still, occasionally, I would see a tag or I would say something like, am I allowed to say that? Is that okay? Oh my God. And then I saw a tag like, oh my God, people are saying stuff about that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, because, I was maybe again in the, the counters, the first couple I did were quite, vanilla, which is totally fine. A lot of mine are, and some of them are more, experimental than others. But it was also really cool for me to do that and slowly let myself go of, oh, well, if you say, if you try too many things, you don't want to put anybody off. I'm always quite worried about, when I started, I was a little worried about wanting to be able to be appealing to other people. And then I thought, no, fuck it. I like my niche and do whatever you want, because that's the nice thing. If people don't want to listen to what I'm putting out, perfect. There are so many other people for them to listen to and enjoy. You just put out whatever you want, because people will find and gravitate to what they want.
There really is something for everyone in there, for sure. From sleep aids to the most wild things.
It was really wild for me, actually, when I found out there were sleep aids on Quinn, because I just thought Quinn was this sex driven. It's as I said, we met each other and my life has completely changed. So how has your life changed, Hector?
Well, one, it was just so nice to have the continuation of the feeling of helping in this kind of, liberation and kind of, from a kind of sexual nature, in that kind of atmosphere from Magic Mike. But then coming into this, you do get a lot more of the personal feedback, which, you would get people saying nice things to you after a show maybe, but, you were also one of 14 guys dancing around. It was a lot less personable, post pandemic and moving to a country where I, was doing, it's all relative, what I felt was quite well with my kind of stage career in English language or international shows here. So the boy band show I did was mostly in English. And then I felt I had to start again a bit from the ground up, because I had to learn the language, and I'm fine at it now, but I have an accent, of course, so it won't be used in that many things. it did take a little bit of a hit to my confidence,
Mhm.
which you need, to go through a job
Yeah.
which is, 90% rejection, regardless of how successful or good you are. So it's so nice
Yeah.
to always say, but whatever I'm doing, I have something that I'm really proud of that I can just do twice a month, where I can directly see how that affects people when they comment. And that is just, it's a really nice little buoyancy thing for my heart sometimes, which I really like.
How did you get into Magic Mike?
So I'd obviously trained, I did a lot of dance training and I trained for musical theatre. I hadn't done much commercial or much street or hip hop, as they say. It wasn't wasn't a thing I'd practiced that much. I was much more of a ballet boy. And I was doing auditions. I did this boy band show where I had to learn, it was a little more modern choreography than I mean, so much respect for NSYNC and the stuff they were doing, because as soon as you do that job, you realize how insanely hard it is to do some of those moves and sing and do everything at the same time. And I came back to London after doing that and was a bit like, moved back, was doing the auditions, wasn't getting that far. And my mum told me about how she was like, oh, my friend went to see Magic Mike in London. And she said, oh, I could just see your son in that, which is quite funny to say to your friend, which I will say. But she actually said it's because she knew I've always been, I'm a good climber. I did a bit of parkour when I was younger. I love jumping around and climbing on stuff. She said, it was great. They're climbing all over the set. They come down from the ceiling on ropes. They do, and I thought, that sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
And
Right.
I'd also seen,
Yeah.
when I was still at college, me and some friends in in the changing room, we'd seen the audition behind the scenes thing from when they opened the show in Vegas, and we thought, oh my god, you've got to be like the coolest guy to be in that show. And I thought, I saw there were auditions for the London one, and I thought, I mean, I'm not that trained in this style of in this style of dancing, but I really wanted to go. I did the first audition where they were just kind of getting people on their books, and it didn't go super well. But I met the director, Alison Falk, who is an amazing woman. She is. I mean, there's lots of people who work to make that show good, but she is fantastic. And I was like, no, I really fucking want to do this job. So I remembered everything from that routine that I could. And then I think in 7 months, they were doing another thing coming around. I saw that through my agent in London. It was like, hey, just, they're opening 2 other shows, one in Australia and one in Berlin. And I thought, oh my fucking God, they're doing one in Berlin. That's, it's where my partner lived. And I was saying, I've got to do it. So I fucking watched every bootlegged video on YouTube possible, copied every move I could. I knew that also what's nice is they have guys doing lots of different things. They also have musicians in it. If you've never seen the show, they'll also have guys playing and singing, because they want to show
Never seen it. Never.
It's a great night out. Have you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a great night out. Yeah. And I went and I just remembered as much as I could, and I thought that I might have a bit of an up because I've worked in Germany before. What was incredibly lucky as well is that I knew they'd hired a comedian who's an American woman who lives in Germany, that I knew she'd actually helped with the boy band show. They'd hired her to translate the script because they have a woman who moderates the whole show. And I thought, hey, this is really great. So I went to the audition. I'd done all my study. I'd learned everything I could. And I went out and did the second round. And they ended up giving it to me, and it was absolutely fantastic.
So you must have come across some sort of feral women during that. Or were women all nice?
I mean, there was a few people when they'd had too much to drink.
Yeah.
I didn't want, but I got the only really bad experience I had is I had one woman in a because obviously if you saw somebody on the bachelorette or their hen party, you would go to them, give them the attention, because then the group's happy. And she'd had a lot to drink. She had one of those really scratchy, bad quality tulle fake wedding dresses on.
Oh yeah.
So that was really scratching on the front. And I had to extract because she was just scratching my back, really scratching my back open. And I was like,
shit.
please get off me right now. I have to go and disinfect my whole body.
Yes.
But no, people were broadly absolutely lovely. I think we only had a tiny bit. I actually had more parasocial stuff with the boy band show I did. Because even though we were a fake boy band, so the idea was we were, 5 guys put together, and it was a jukebox musical, and we kind of told the general kind of stereotypical story of a boy group put together. There's the son-in-law type. There's he's young and sweet, but pretty obviously gay type as well. But he's and then the studio is horrible and tries to cover that up about them. The kind of sporty one, the bad boy, and then the 5th one whose name no one remembers.
Yeah, so true.
That was me. That was me, baby.
That was you?
That was you.
No, it was absolutely fine. Hey, it's okay, man. I got my solo in the second half, and I was like, hey.
Oh,
Okay.
there you go.
That's acceptable.
But no, it's
Fine.
fine. We had a lot of people take a massive. It was a really nice show, written by, and it's where I met my wife. Actually, she was assistant director on that.
Oh, nice.
And
nice.
she and the writer actually is a very good friend of ours now. The guy who made that, and he married us. That's so cute.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Wow, that's so sweet.
That's a sweet story.
He's a great guy. Yeah. And we had some people really, really grab onto that show, which was great. We love it. But it was amazing because we were like, wow, this is amazing. We are a fake boy band. It was a big show in Germany. We did go around arenas and things, but we just thought we experienced, 0.0005% of what those real people went through. And we just thought, oh my God, that's a tough life.
And what was it that you experienced? Like, what did people do that made you go, okay? Not scratching backs, but
we did have
God.
or maybe
we did have we do a meet and greet after every show, which we thought would just be like we thought would just be like 10 people would come after the show or something. We had like a queue every night of like 200 women, and at one point where it was insane. And we would sign stuff, and we thought, no, we're not real, right? But we had like some woman asking one of the people involved. She was like, and what is the name of the band? And they're like, oh no, we think it's a misunderstanding. And she was, she was 40.
Oh my
We
God.
thought, and it's very clear in the show. She's like, what's the name of the band? No, there's a misunderstanding. We're not real. We're just a group of actors put together. And she went, okay. And so when does the album drop? And we were like, no.
Oh, bless.
Which was really sweet. And I did have a very, very nice woman wrote 200-page fan fiction about me and bound it in a proper hardbound book and gave it to me at one of the meet and greets. And it was the sweetest thing I ever saw.
Yes, sorry about that. Can I have it back?
That's very sweet.
Actually, quite sweet.
It was incredibly
Really?
sweet. So I know I brought this up when we talk about parasocial thing. It was actually, I think that was a very, well, it's not, in so much as lots of people have, people they latch onto, especially kind of when we're, in the late stages of adolescence. But that was a really safe, nice one for her to do and get a lot of her feelings like that out.
How do you maintain your boundaries in your Quinn work?
I think this is one of the times where I feel a little luckier. I'm a smaller creator. I've been pretty lucky so far with nobody pushing the boundaries. I have one person to maybe send me messages where, again, it's very well intentioned, but have been describing, everything that they were doing as the audio was going on. I was like, hey, I'm glad you enjoy the audio. I don't need messages like that. They didn't reply yet, which is good because that's my, I felt in that occasion safe to engage and say that's still very sweet because I could tell the intention was very nice. And I think it wasn't too much for me personally. And again, I don't get it often, but I don't have a Discord or anything. I don't have anything like that. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have all that stuff that I think that allows people to get an extra layer closer.
Yeah.
Which I think helps. But we've got good. There's also good, Quinn have a good FAQ as well for creators, and a good advice to say if people are overstepping boundaries with you, that's what you can do. And I'm always very happy to know. I know that always in this situation, I'm the boss. I do not have to read or listen to anything you're saying.
That's right.
I've also been lucky enough. Yeah. No one's ever really been mean in my comments either. So
Nice.
until then, that doesn't mean start. Even if it's a bit, don't do it.
Okay, I'll take the hint.
Yes, Mudge.
It's not an invitation.
Oh, Hector's shit at spell or smart.
Oh, God. Okay.
He thinks everything's smart.
We've been definitely lucky when we've spoken to other guests on the show that there's barely been a time where they've had more than one or two really difficult situations or slightly difficult situations. And I think that's, of course, there's always going to be the bad eggs out there, but I think it's testament to people have intimated to it that it's women supporting women on it. So women will say to the other woman, that's a little bit, don't do that. That sounded a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Safe.
we self-police.
Absolutely.
I think,
And,
is what
and if that's done in a kind way, because I think you always want to give people the benefit of the doubt initially, you know, and we live in a world now that is so, in many ways, insular, and people aren't with community a lot of the time. And, you know, there's not a lot of support. And if someone's maybe going through something that's affecting their mental health, there's a lot of reasons why they might, you know, not be behaving, you know, in a way that they would like to be perceived as doing if they were feeling better. So, you know, it's always good to really try and give people the benefit of the doubt initially, but that can't come obviously at the expense of your own safety or boundaries.
Exactly. I mean, I'm a moderator for a Quinn creator called AJ.
Oh, yeah.
So I moderate his Discord, etc. Patreon.
Yes. Okay. I heard I know there was an issue recently, but that was bad, huh? Initially.
Yeah, that was pretty intense and completely non-red flag spotty for me, because it was coming from another woman, and I've been brought up to identify red flags for men.
Of course,
and
safety. Of course you have.
Women.
Yeah.
So before I'd spotted it far too late before I addressed the problem, and then it had already gone way too far. So
you're right, but
they are.
It's tough, but I think it's also tough on something when it's just a text medium as well. Like, you know, you can't infer all of the information that, you know, we've also been, you know, evolved to see, and you know, you just kind of sense sometimes with somebody, if you're with them or seeing them or hearing their voice, you sense those red flags a lot more easily. But when they're just right, you can't tell always.
It's true.
Yeah, and plus I wasn't identifying it because I wasn't the creator, and that's AJ. So it was a complete redirection. But yeah, you know, these things do happen, but the support of everybody was brilliant.
I'm good. I'm glad.
You just hope people get the help that they need, because there is
Right.
without question some mental health problems and issues and things that need to be worked through.
Yeah.
So
we don't want things to just be punitive. You know, you want people to be helped.
Right.
Yeah, it's such a tricky medium, to your point, Hector, that when it's text, or even, I mean, I know there was some voice as well, but when it's text, like anything can be inferred, and you can't know for sure what so it's easy to second guess yourself, which is probably why it can be tricky to notice red flags as soon as possible, because you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. But it's such a tricky dynamic, especially with Quinn being an immersive audio app, right? So we are put in relationship with the creator in these audios.
Yes.
And, you know, if you don't have a healthy checkpoint, it can be a slippery slope. So I think it's it's great to hear that Quinn has these, you know, FAQs on how to set these boundaries and keep everyone safe, so everyone can continue to enjoy it. Yeah.
So you went from sort of Magic Mike, a big group thing, you went into the boy band tour thing, and that's in a group of thing, to standing in a booth on your own, telling people how to masturbate. So how does it feel doing something now? You were clearly a big team player, your ballet. I mean, that's not necessarily singing, is it?
Very
You're in a booth on your own now. Feel?
No, I think the team stuff has helped me being alone. Obviously, I still do freelance theatre, you know, so, you know, most summers I work in a Freilichtspiele, so like an open air theatre in Germany. What was so nice is that when I started doing dance, when I went to college, most of the people I was around were women. And I've always been, I was brought up, again, really luckily, I was brought up in a very, you know, emotionally available household. So I was always very able and in touch with my feelings. You know, I had issues like everybody does, but growing up with mostly women as my friends really helped me re-socialize myself to that. And it really made me feel like, you know, relaxed and feel a lot more confident, because I didn't always vibe that well growing up with some of the boys. I didn't get how men treated each other, and the kind of, you know, I like a bit of, you know, taking the piss out of each other, you know, it's part and parcel of being English as well. That's what we all do. So a bit of banter is fine, but I really liked the emotional availability and how people were able to be really emotionally connected with each other in, you know, in dance college, and I grew up with that. I did struggle a little bit occasionally at the start of Magic Mike, because that was then chucked into a room, you know, 14 boys, all lovely men,
Oh.
because they're so smart when they cast that, they interview you and they just check that you're okay with women and you actually like women, and that's the big thing, you know. Doing all that and then shrinking yourself down, I still felt enough kind of internal confidence in my community and knowing, you know, these people who I've been colleagues and you know, especially in dance college, which is a brutal place. Really unkind from a lot of people, but not from the students. You know, you're just a real human being there. It's really helped me hold myself together when I'm doing stuff on my own. I don't know. I think that's just gave me the confidence to not sit there. Of course, I will overanalyze occasionally, but it gave me a real
As we all
confidence
do. We all
to
do.
think. We all do. I think it's
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we all do.
which definitely comes out more when you're doing stuff just on your own. But I get enough from that, and then from knowing the feedback I get, you know, often the times when I'm feeling the most nervous after uploaded something, I think, oh god, people are gonna fucking hate that. Oh, that's so you know, where I just I've recorded, I've submitted it, and it's gonna go up the next day, and then I'm just like I go like at 2 a.m. thinking, oh, you said that into a microphone, you idiot. What are you doing?
And I bet those are the ones that are received the best, right? You
Absolutely,
surpass
that's
the
what it
time.
is. It's so often the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with doing
Yeah.
auditions. I think, oh, I nailed that, and they want nothing to do with you. But then if you think, oh, I don't know, then it's okay.
Yeah, we still hate our own when we've got to listen to it back, don't we, ladies?
Of course you
Hate
do.
it.
It is not.
Hate it.
It's really
Yeah.
torture, isn't it?
It's torture.
I can't even look at, like, I cover
It's
my
tough.
face most of the time. Yeah.
How do you all
Yeah.
do it? Do you all take, you know, do you do it kind of collaboratively, the editing, or you take it in
No.
We
turns?
sit in a darkened room and normally cry.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, no way! That's what I do. Editing Quinn. That's correct. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's what I do.
No, we do. I do editing. We've roped my wife into it. She's now the editor. And we have one other person who helps us too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that helps you get a step away from it.
And editing is such a bitch. Such a
Yeah,
bitch.
it is.
Don't know how you do it.
Oh god, I said, you know, the amount of times I've said, like, I really don't want to do another take like that. Can I edit these two breaths together so it sounds
Yes.
Yeah.
We've cobbled many a segment. Yes.
And when you, but that is actually when you nail it. Because one time I can't remember what I said, but I remember I was able to salvage like 2 syllables back into the word that I wanted to say after cutting out 15 seconds in the middle, and it sounded seamless.
That's a skill.
I don't care how many people have made orgasm. That was the highlight of my career.
That's number one. That's number one.
Of your career.
That is the climax.
But I wasn't allowed to tag it.
Yeah, damn it. So you've already mentioned a bit about like how, you know, raised around women and just like being surrounded by women. So in your younger years, what did you learn about gender roles?
It was more of the kind of the gender socialization that I noticed more as a kid, you know, when I was, you know, simultaneously on the rugby team and having a terrible time because most of the boys were pretty nasty to quite a, you know, boy. And then I was like, oh, I have such a nice time when I'm in the studio with my girls. Yeah. And that was very interesting feeling of being a, you know, and of course, you know, there's spats and arguments people have, and, you know, people would claim that, you know, oh yeah, you know, when I was at college and the boys were like, oh, some of the girls are so bitchy to each other. And I was like, yeah, I mean, but we're all here, you know, 8 hours a day, and, you know, they are being, we are being this a little bit, but they are getting horrendously bullied every day about their weight from the teachers, and we are really escaping a lot of that. And we also know we're about to go into an industry where we are really in demand and really prized, which is bizarre. You know, it's oh, you're boy, you're doing ballet, you're doing dance, you're doing theatre, like it's a girls thing. And you hear that, oh, it's great, it's a girls industry, and then you go in, and then you're still massively advantaged as a man because there are so few of you comparatively.
So many women doing it.
Yeah.
I did that a bit because I worked in a restaurant as well. I worked in the, you know, first as a waiter and then in the kitchens. And I thought that was really interesting as well. So I hear them say, like, oh, go in the kitchen. And I thought, how weird is it as well? Like, that was something that, you know, people I knew would propagate, like, oh, women in the kitchen. And then again, and then you go to it professionally, and it's still only men, you know, until it's a professional atmosphere, then it's all men again. And it was really bizarre to me to see those kind of double standards and all that stuff as I was growing up.
Kind of a theme, I think. We've spoke to a lot of creators where they've all said, you know, that most of their friends growing up were women.
Yeah.
And
Like a theme.
There's got to be something in it.
There's got to
surely.
be.
Well, there has
There's
to
this.
be.
Yeah, there's this level of emotional intelligence and evolvement in the creators we've spoken to. Yeah, have a very very evolved sense of gender, which is refreshing.
And it's
So
really no, I'm
refreshing.
really glad. Yeah, I think my sister was great for movies we'd watch as kids, because I didn't consciously know, like, grow up watching a lot, like Legally Blonde, top 3
Yes.
movie all time for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Legally
She's
Blonde
so
is amazing.
great.
I actually teach about stereotypes in
Yeah.
my film studies class, and we use Legally
Oh, yeah.
Blonde as one of our movies.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
It's so good.
she's a it's a quote unquote girl's girl who never
Oh, yeah.
allows anything to stop her still supporting the other. Even Vivian, who she's meant to hate,
Yes.
she doesn't.
Nope.
And then
Yeah.
they just support each other when they're harassed by Callahan.
Callahan,
lawyer?
yeah,
Was it
the
Callahan?
horrible
Yeah.
professor lawyer. Yep.
Awful, and then they're just supporting each other. I loved it. We grew up watching that. We grew up watching the Bratz movies together, and I never consciously got that until I was just like, I really like that, and everyone was funny but also nice to each other, and like in Clueless as well, all that stuff.
As if.
Again, as if.
As if.
Yeah, no, it was just really nice because of course, I liked some quote unquote boys movies as well, but I just loved these ones where it's like, ultimately people were nice to each other, and that was there was of course conflict, but that was allowed to be just a big part of the film. People are friends in a kind.
Yeah.
Shocker.
Go figure.
Yeah.
So when you started entering like the kind of dating age, and you were getting into relationships, and what was that like for you, as far as like what you, I don't want to say expected of your partner, but just what you expected them to behave like, just from
That was
your experience.
an interesting one, and it's something that I did say, especially from schooling, which I think we can say about most places. I think sexual education is woefully underfunded and undertaught.
Non-existent.
Yeah,
In the
completely.
U.S.
And that is one of the things that I did notice, and especially when I look back, I could be like, with some of my first partners when I started to be, in any form sexually active. I will not hold it against myself, because neither of us knew what we're doing. We would, it never talked how to talk to each other about what you wanted or what you expected or what you were maybe feeling nervous about. The only really, but again, only thing you'd really seen is what you'd seen in film.
Yeah.
So I did notice that there was a lot of frustration for me and for my partners. We didn't know how to communicate that sort of stuff, which, rectified very quickly as I got older. But it was an interesting thing because I didn't feel like myself, because, everything else I did was so, I'm just preempting, and nothing was terrible. I'm just saying it was an awkward thing to learn, when it was like, I feel like I have so many good role models and expectations for other stuff. And this aspect of my life was just incredibly clunky and awkward. And it wasn't until, a couple of relationships later where I really learned like how to be like, oh, okay, it's nothing that no one needs to feel pressure on either side. And I think that is really good for everybody to learn, because also you can feel you can catastrophize and feel a lot of shame for maybe mistakes on how you made, in relationships when you were really young. But remember, you were really young and everyone was learning.
And it stays with you, and you'll talk to your girlfriends and your male friends about it, and you'll go, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I did." I can't believe
exactly what I did, or how I said, or I was just like, like, it's okay. You didn't know and you were actually, we were all failed by a system that just decided that it was, for whatever stupid reasons, that it wasn't worth educating people on, or not even in a good, coherent way, where you were just taught about how you'll both feel a lot happier if you can really communicate. And if you aren't comfortable communicating to that person, then you're also not ready to be sexually active with them.
Yeah, if you can't say it, don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I think everyone always forgets, like, this is all of our first times going through life. Like, it's our first times going through life. We got to figure things out. We got to give ourselves some grace when we're younger to do that.
Totally.
You're still so young. Like,
So
think
young.
of any of your
young.
other opinions you had when that age. Like, you were an idiot. I was stupid as hell. I wasn't. I was nice. I was just little 18-year-old hickey. But it's okay to be the young version of yourself. You did it, and if you come out of it, however you are now.
How cute is Hecky? Let me just say
Stop.
that.
I was just gonna say that. That's so cute.
I'm Hecky. Yeah.
Obviously, that gives us permission to continually call you Hecky throughout.
You call me Hecky. Absolutely fine. Hecky. Hecky Bear.
Well, speaking about your younger self, then, if you could look back at your 18-year-old self, what would be some advice you would give yourself?
Most people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. I think
Oh,
it's a
that's
good one.
really good.
Because you are, you
Right?
think
Really good.
everything you, but you
Yes.
know, I also have to ask myself when I'm remembering awkward stuff I did or said from, you know, a friend who I don't even see anymore, which I said when I was, you know, 17, and I might have said something that accidentally offended them.
Yeah.
That's okay. You fucked up. It's all
Yeah.
right. And they did the same
Yeah.
stuff to you,
Yep.
Mhm.
and they're not
Yep.
thinking about it. I promise. They're just doing their own version.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to do those missteps to even learn that they're missteps.
Exactly. That's it. You know, we
Like-
have to be allowed
Yeah.
to fail. And
fail.
again,
Yeah.
I'm again a big the proponent of that because I myself can be so bad at it. I really, you know, hate getting stuff wrong and failing, but you have to do it, and it's a real lesson that you're better off learning sooner than later.
And laughing about.
Absolutely. And it sounds so Pollyanna, but like I believe that there really is no such thing as failure. There's only trying, right? Because I mean, because even if you don't
so
do it
Yoda of
because
you.
you're
Yes.
afraid,
Just
right?
gonna say
Yeah.
that.
Truly, though, there's
Yeah.
no such thing as failure because anything you try, you know a little bit more for the next time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So everything has a success in it.
Think about from a very early age, you're taught like you can't fail a class. So you're
Oh, yeah.
you constantly have that notion in your head, you know, I can't fail, I can't fail. So that word does become just like dirty. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, literally
Yeah.
on my social bio, it says it has done for probably 20 years. It's on all my social bios, and it says, "I will only regret the things I don't try." Because
Oh,
who
well
gives
done.
a
Yeah.
flying
Yes.
Very
fuck
wise.
about failing something? What are they
Yeah.
going to do? Stand there and laugh at you for 5 seconds and then move on to the next person? I mean, yeah, but
Mm.
am I going to regret that for the rest of my life if I don't try it? Yeah, probably.
But that's like, I mean, to Smudge's credit, I have to say, like, you truly live by that. Like, it's
Yeah.
fucking
yeah.
It's very
amazing.
impressive.
Because
Yeah.
I'd
Really
like to
does.
say that, but shit, no, I don't live it. You live it.
Live it.
Like,
Hell yeah.
which is why you have the most amazing stories from your life.
Ever.
We're trying to get her to write a book. Because it's
Do it.
ridiculous, her story.
Hecky, it's not going to happen. I don't, yeah.
That's okay. Why not?
There
It's
you
going
go.
to happen.
Can't be worried you'll fail at it.
Fine.
No, it probably will do. I've just started writing again after a long time of not. So yeah, I mean, I think my stories are all right, you know, but whether they could fill a book, I don't know. But we'll
Could
see.
fill
That's
tomes.
great. But is there anybody that you would want to collab with? Fiction in your booth, if you were going to collab with somebody on a Quinn audio, who would you want to collab with? Anybody, could be anybody.
Just no game character, because who the
Yeah, we don't get it. I don't
Okay.
get it.
Who'd be a good one?
Sorry,
Kronk
Jules.
from the Emperor's
I
New
won't know
Groove.
who they are.
We've got to locate the clitoris.
That was an amazing impression.
Don't turn her into a llama. Quinn has rules against that.
That is going into a Quinn audio, right? You're going to do a crumb.
I don't know what the market is for that.
So we do like to ask everyone this question and hear what you have to say about it. How would you define sexual freedom?
So I think maybe personal sexual freedom is being the ability to enjoy your own sexual expression and pleasure in any amount, way, shape, or form that you wish, without the crushing manacles of shame that normally lie heavy on us all. Because yeah, and that can be, you know, by yourself, with other people, with as many people as you want simultaneously. But to never ever feel that any standing on your morality.
Well said. Hecky wins.
Hecky wins.
Yay.
Love
As
that.
it doesn't. We have far too much stuff I think we end up thinking affects us or who we are as people or our moral standing, and it doesn't.
Damn straight. Fucking love that.
Mm.
And as a woman, we are built on morality. We are our whole fucking premise on life is, oh my God, you know, have you got morals? Oh, you don't have morals, you know. Oh, fuck off.
And the stuff that society
Mhm.
chooses to assign them and remove them from you, given your actions or behaviors, it's it's so much steeper and more
Yeah.
oppressive than anything, you know, that affects men. Yeah. And so remember that, you know, when people are trying to do that, or society is trying to do that to you, just please remember that you assign that shit yourself.
Yeah.
And that is the most important, is your relationship to your morals.
So what's something that people assume about you that's incorrect?
It used to always be my sexuality when I was younger, I kind of owned that. It's a good one. Oh, this is a good one. That because I used to get a lot of course picked on for doing ballet. This is a good one. If you're ever picked on for doing something, doesn't matter if you're good at it or you're not. Just say, yeah, I'm really good at it, and it completely disarmed that. So,
Oh.
you do ballet?
Yeah, what are you gonna say back?
Yeah, I do ballet. I was like, yeah, I'm really good at it, and then they would have
Yeah.
nothing.
I
So
love
that's a really good disarming. Well, yeah. Then they're not engaging with that in the way I wished. I'll have to rethink this bullying thing.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
cool.
think actually, if to relate it to Quinn, because I think I found this whenever I've spoken to my men about the fact, or if it's come up at a party, or if even for some of my friends, I think people think I get different men assume I get different things out of doing Quinn than I actually do. They're like, oh yeah, do you like that? Do you like women come? Yeah. Do you like what
Right.
do your fans look like? And I'm like, I don't give a shit.
Is that what they are?
That's
Right.
not at all what I'm in it for.
Yeah.
I want
my
other
God.
people to feel good. Like some
Right.
people that's like because they think
Yeah. They're thinking like groupies
know,
from his boy
exactly,
band days.
and they don't know anything about audio erotica. So again, they
Yeah.
come at everything from a completely different angle. So they're assuming like is that it's the same reason as they'd be like oh did you lap dance anyone attractive at Magic Mike? And I was like sometimes yes.
Yes.
I did find people attractive, but also that's not the point, because the point is to give everybody there the show and to make them feel really special. This person, I think I can make happy right now because they look like they're really excited to be here. And if I can, share that with them, then that's actually the thing that gave me far more enjoyment than, any fleeting like,
Yeah.
she's hot. Like, what's the, come on. I'd,
Yeah.
for everyone, I loved giving lap dances to men who were there for the same reasons. Obviously, the show was always there for women. The more fun one was when you occasionally would get, men bringing their, who were there with their partners, and then they'd walk, you'd walk over to them in the lap dance, and they'd like put their arm around really defensively. And it's like, dude, what
Goodness.
this is a
Oh,
job.
Really.
I will give you one as well if you want,
It would be amazing. Yeah.
share the
Yeah,
love.
right?
Like, this is,
Equal opportunity.
I mean, you bought a rather expensive
Yeah.
ticket to be here and look grumpy, so I'll happily, lighten your load here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little. We'll make you smile.
Yeah.
We'll make you smile.
Yes.
Yeah, let me grind on you. I'll gee.
So that's what your friends think you get out of Quinn. So in your words, what do you get
Well,
out
I'll
of Quinn?
defend my friend. It's not most of my friends I've talked to now, and they really get the vibe now and really love it. But previous yes,
Previous cavemen.
man speaking to Mike. Man make fuck sound.
Fine.
You think good, yeah. I would. What I did, I think I and I went into it a bit already. What I really get out a genuine feeling of joy, and happiness and peace for what I am able to do, or what the collaboration. Because again, it's kind of the performer and listener contract, which is similar to the performer audience contract that you have. It's kind of the unspoken rules you have on stage as well. But because it's a two-part people to make the kind of collective experience of listening to audio erotica come to life. And that my part in that I'm able to do, and combines with the listener's part of enjoying it in whatever way they want to enjoy it, brings them happiness, and that's what I get out of it.
And you have brought us a lot of joy.
So
Aw.
much.
Several times enough. Occasionally.
That's it. That's what I want. That's all I
Becky's the
want.
best.
Hecky.
Hecky bear.
Pecky
Yeah.
Bear.
I love it.
The last question, really. Is there a question you wish we asked you, but we didn't?
Yeah, when you're doing like vocational training, especially in theatre and the arts, there's a lot of people who were trained in a certain way, and they think, and this will happen all over, but this is how it always has to be. So there was a lot of, my ballet master was abusive and mocked me endlessly about my weight, or they said horrible things about me in this thing, and they think that's how it always has to be. So there was so much of that. So for the women, especially in my group, it was just horrendous not even body shaming in general, but body type shaming. And it was weird because it's like you took these students knowing, because they were in some ways quite proud of, hey, we have a college that takes people who maybe weren't accepted at other places, especially women, because there is so much body shaming in that industry, which is marginally improving, but
Slowly.
again, not really,
Yeah.
marginally.
Yeah.
And yet it's still, you know, and some weeks it'd be fine and they'd be like, oh, we're so happy we gave you a place. And
Yeah.
then occasionally there'd be like, you know, body weigh-ins in the room, like everyone in the room on the scales.
No.
You know, it was interesting seeing that. And then also even how you were educated as an artist was interesting, because there was a lot of, which I think is very common in the British, well, the kind of the Anglophone training system. So Australia and Britain and America trains their artists like this, because there's, you know, our training as a basis, we make really fantastic artists who are machines. And a lot of it is like, yeah, but there could be someone who can take your job, especially if you're doing the dance side of training. There's 1,000 of you who are your size who can fit the costume, so do whatever they say. It's basically preparing you to give up all your kind of social and labor rights as soon as you get into the industry, because you should just be happy to have a job that you like, that's a dream. And I only like talking about that because it's the same as Quinn, it's the same as theatre, it's the same as film, television work, all of that stuff. It is a job, you can love it. It is still labor. It is still your work.
Yeah.
And you have to occasionally treat it like that to make sure you maintain a good mental state for how you're working. And any amount of labor that you're doing, if it's paid, if it's mental, if it's emotional, same goes for women doing it. Like, we know the massive amount of mental and emotional workload in the average household. It's labor. Protect yourself in whatever ways you can. Have boundaries that you can't be crossed.
Great. Well said.
Yeah, what a great statement that is. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, everything has value. I mean, it makes me think of, you know, in my early days of writing, you know, so many magazines or publications would say, oh, but the exposure is great. When I'd ask what the pay is for the pay rate for the writer, like, oh, the exposure is great. I'm like, exposure, no, it's not my value.
My landlord loves taking that. Yeah, he gives me a discount when I pay him an exposure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, sure.
yeah. You have to
How
pay
many
my rent.
moans do I need to give you for that to be for that to break even? Yeah.
8 to 10. What?
Yeah.
At least 3. Fabulous. And where can listeners find you online, Hecky?
Well, I have you know, I'm not a huge online presence, I've got to say, but I would, you know, please
We found
join me.
you.
You did. You found me in the dark.
I mean, we were standing outside
wandering
your house
around.
at 3 a.m.
That's
saying,
good.
please
Well
come on
done.
our podcast, please.
With a massively high ladder, I imagine, as well. That's really impressive.
Oh, yeah. The radio above our heads.
So on TikTok, I'm Hector_on_Quinn, I think.
We'll check that out.
I'm on Instagram I have too. So if I'm going to talk about Quinn, mostly it will be on my kind of voice acting account. That's Hector's_voice. And then my regular one is at Hector Mitchell Turner, which is where I post about other and theatre and stuff. So you can all find me there. And nowhere else, then it's not me.
And we have been watching some of your dance videos. They've been the one with the woman on the stage and
with Miriam. Yeah, that was a rehearsal. Yeah.
My
Lovely.
God, it was
Yeah.
beautiful.
It's great, isn't it? That is one of the amazing things about German theatre, is that there is just so much funding for, you know, state-run theatres in comparison to the States or in the UK. It's amazing. You know, every theatre has a state theatre. Every city has a state theatre. They'll normally have a ballet company and an opera company, and then some actor stuff. Then there's these outside, and they will all have funding, and people are then able to go. You know, they're still pricey, but nowhere near as there's no centralized West End or Broadway there. Hamburg will pretend they have one, but it's just because like most of the kind of
Pretentious
Disney
Hamburg.
musicals are up there. Yeah, Hamburg. They think, oh, wir sind der Hauptstadt des Musicals in Deutschland. And we're like, no, you're not. And it's brilliant. The decentralized thing of it is really nice because it means people can go, and that everybody, I'll just say, if you have the ability, I know it's a privilege to be able to go sometimes, even if it's community theatre, go and see live theatre, because it's the one thing AI can't get. Always be live entertainment in the world. That's what humans need.
And podcasts. Listen to your local podcasts. support.
Even though, just so you know, Smudge isn't here. This is just
Right.
an AI that has been trained on the hours of the previous podcast.
Merely a hologram who speaks
Yeah.
filthy shit.
But it said, at least this AI said something very profound about regret and failing. You know, it was really, really.
Yeah, yeah. And then she said the word
Wise.
cunt. And so
Yeah.
we knew it was her.
And she's back.
And then we
Yeah,
know
we
it's
do.
really
That's,
Smudge.
that's the
And
test.
Do you know, I'm so happy you trained because, you know, I think it's a shame it's an underused word in America, I think.
not in Smudge's world, and as a result,
No.
not in
I
mine
was
and
gonna
Jules' world
talk-
now. We have
Yeah, no,
reclaimed it.
oh
No.
yeah, I
All the
used
time.
to, whisper.
I think it needs a bit of
Yeah,
reclamation.
Oh
Absolutely.
my gosh.
Yeah, I think I really that is actually one thing I did see a comment once with people saying, because I said cunt in an audio, and people said like, oh, I really like that, because I said it's totally good, and also because it isn't period appropriate often to say pussy, you know.
Right,
And I
right.
love it.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, I mean, especially in rambles, I do love, you know, I love very often if we can get you, I will say vulva a lot as well. I do also think it's great to just keep using, you know, anatomically appropriate terms for everything as well. But cunt is also like, you know, sexier than pussy a
Yeah,
lot of the
it
time.
is. I mean, it wakes you up. It's one of
Not
those
cunt.
slap round the faces when you hear it in an audio.
Yeah.
Like,
Sure.
yes, yes. Follow, favourite,
Yeah.
download. There you go.
Yep.
Settle down, settle
Yep.
down.
I literally on Quinn. I have a cunt playlist.
Your favorite?
I'm going to add
Excellent.
yours now, Hector. Which audio is it?
Definitely
You don't know.
definitely the last one I did with Carrie. Wait, marrying the brother. Definitely has cunt,
Okay,
and then I
right,
think a
download.
couple of other ones, and then I think a couple of the other more recent ones. Anything like the last 5 ones, I'm fairly likely to have said it.
You are now officially on the cunt list.
I'm in the yeah.
On the cunt list.
I'm in the cunt carriage.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Stolen.
Yeah.
I'm renaming my Quinn
Ah.
playlist now. The cunt
Cunt
carriage.
Cunt carriage. Yeah. All aboard.
All
Yeah.
aboard.
Have you all got? I hope you're all good at playlisting.
I'm terrible at playlisting, I gotta say.
No.
No.
Add all of mine. I might need to be on more playlists.
Oh, I will start
Oh.
creating some.
Shameless,
Done.
shameless plug there. Yeah.
I have like 7,
Good.
and there's 0 to 10, 11 to 25, and then it's like how many times have I arrived at that audio?
That's really good. That's a good.
So-
That's a good measurement. That's really good.
I'm helping the general public.
You're the gauge
I'm
on the
thrilled.
smudge scale.
Yeah.
I was very happy
Ah.
I got added to. Well, I had mixed feelings. I was very happy I got added because I have 2 of my audios where I do an Irish accent, and I got added to a Kiss Me I'm Irish playlist with all of our genuine Irish
Ah.
creators, and I would
That's
just
gotta
I
feel
know,
good.
but I
There you
also
go.
it is, but I also just totally want to say and give them their space as a filthy Brit, who is totally in support of you know, abhorrent, you know, in support of unified Ireland and absolutely against the abhorrent things Britain did in Ireland. I just want to say,
Absolutely.
I don't think some of you were on the platform when I did those, so I felt okay doing it. But I'm going to give you your space now. And,
But you you
sorry about
now
that.
have to say something in an Irish accent because now.
No, I don't. You can listen to that. No. Davey Fitness is very big.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yes. So playlists. How else can listeners best support you on the Quinn app? Like favorite
I think
playlists.
favoriting and subscribing is really
Okay.
good.
I think it's so important to like let listeners know that, because as listeners to us, it's pretty insignificant because it doesn't do much
Right.
for us except throw you in our library, which there's like no like
Stuff, yeah.
organization. It's not like we get an alert when a favorite creator does.
Yeah,
release
people
You know,
just don't fit.
we're
Yeah,
the same with our podcast.
it really is.
People just don't leave comments. They don't,
Yeah.
click the 5 stars. Things like that. It's really important to you
Yeah.
because for us, we're just growing. We've just started. It's, and of course you like.
Yeah, it's how people will find you. So I imagine the more audios of yours and creators that are favorited,
Yeah.
the more likely they are to be, exposure, that kind of stuff.
I think so. Yeah, I think also we've all been far too trained into how we interact with like really short form content, where you see it and you like it and
Yes.
scroll away, and then people kind of are trained into doing the same thing with really long form audio content, which often has a lot more effort behind it. That I've seen some goddamn cinematic
Yeah.
TikToks. I'm not going to lie, and they need all the support they can get. But making a podcast and making an audio requires a lot more interaction and stuff to make sure people know They like it. And also, if I can, comment about me on the Quinn TikToks and then the thing, I don't. I think there's I don't know if there's a Reddit or anything as well. I don't know if people want to be on Reddit. It's a bit of a cesspool.
Ugh.
I was like, stay away from Reddit. But if there is, any of the social medias, it's always really nice. And also, just for my happiness, it's really nice to see you all. If you like my stuff, to see you out in the wild and recommending me on the comments to other videos and stuff. That was good. Hate plugging myself, but it's
Yes,
got to
we
be
will
done.
do it for you. Please, listeners of Quincast, all our clitisons out there,
That's right.
please head over to the Quinn app and favourite, listen, come to, tell a friend, whatever you want to do with it. Head over to Hector's pages because they are well worth a listen.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are.
Fantastic. And then we know where you are. It helps us
Yes.
locate
It does.
clitisons.
We need to locate all the clitisons.
Just to circle back.
It does.
Yeah.
all the way.
It's been so awesome talking to you,
I had
Hecky.
So
such a nice
fun.
time. I want to come on every
Fabulous.
week, but I won't because you need to listen to other people. But I really would. It was really absolute
Oh,
joy.
Oh.
Yeah. And if you ever
Hey.
happily will come on again if you ever want to do another circle round after you've gotten through
we
everyone.
would love to have you back. Hecky Bear.
Yeah.
So good having you here.
Yay.
Bye.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was Hector, you guys. I'm in love.
Ditto.
Getting
Absolutely.
Oh my
the
God,
cue.
So I'm literally going to favorite every
Yep.
audio, favorite his
Added.
profile. He's
Oh my
adorable.
God, he was just amazing. I love him, love
Ooh.
him. How insightful as well. And he just genuinely feels like he wants
Yes.
to empower women,
Yes.
wants to make our lives better. He thinks about how
Yeah.
it will affect
Mhm.
women when he does everything that he's done, from his Magic Mike to his band stuff to Quinn. Everything he spoke about actually referred back to how he wants women to
Mhm.
feel and how he
Yes.
feels they need to be treated.
Right?
What a fucking specimen.
Yeah.
What an amazing person. What an amazing person.
And he clearly walks his talk because after this conversation, he is so. It sounds stupid, but pro women. And yeah, he just really he's such a great ally and advocate for women. So thanks, Hecky Bear.
That's what you could tell. He's real. He's very genuine.
Yeah.
Very real in the way he's speaking about empowering women. Absolutely amazing conversation with him. Wow.
All right, so there we go. Another hit the spotlight of Quincast in the bag. So hope you guys enjoyed it. You know the deal. Rate us, comment, share with your friends. Please email us. We've gotten some great emails from listeners with some topic ideas, and we want to hear
he's
from
real
you. So
nice.
please, quincastpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know your thoughts. And yeah, we'll talk to you next time. This has been Casa. Your voice matters.
This is Jules. Go put those lips to good use.
And this has been Smudge. Keep wanking.